Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you work, your money never seems to grow the way you want it to? You save diligently, you invest cautiously, yet at the end of the month, your financial dreams feel just out of reach. If this sounds familiar, take a deep breath because you are not alone. Most of us were never truly taught how money works. School doesn't prepare us for wealth. Society tells us to work harder but not smarter. And even when we try to follow advice from books, blogs, or videos, it often feels confusing, contradictory, or incomplete. But here's the good news. Financial freedom is not reserved for the lucky or the privileged. It is a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned, practiced, and mastered. Over the years, I've read more than 60 books on money, investing, wealth, and economics. I've analyzed real-world experiences, observed patterns among financially successful people, and distilled the lessons into 14 core principles that can transform the way you handle money, invest, and build lasting wealth. Today, I'm going to share those lessons with you in a way that's practical, actionable, and easy to understand. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Invest in yourself first. Many people believe the first step to wealth is buying stocks, crypto, gold, or real estate. I believe the same for years, but here's the truth. Your first $1,000 should never go into the stock market, Bitcoin, or property. Instead, invest in yourself. Learn a new skill, expand your knowledge, become more valuable. Think of yourself as a company. Like any company, you have assets, liabilities, revenue, and expenses. But unlike a company, the greatest asset you can grow is your own capability. Ask yourself, if you were a stock, would anyone invest in you? Are you growing or stagnating? By developing a high-demand skill, coding, sales, design, marketing, or any area you are passionate about, you can dramatically increase your lifetime earning potential. A skill can generate returns that far surpass anything you could earn from investing that first $1,000 elsewhere. Here's a practical roadmap. Pick a skill that interests you and is in demand. Invest in books, courses, or mentorship. Dedicate at least 20 minutes daily to practice and study. Apply it through freelancing, internships, or personal projects. The returns on this investment compound over time. Your personal growth accelerates, your income increases, and everything else becomes easier. Lesson number 2. Financial freedom comes before getting rich. Many people chase wealth with one goal: to get rich. I used to think the same, but here's what I learned. Financial freedom must come first. Financial freedom means having enough passive income to cover your living expenses. When you are free from the pressure of earning just to survive, you can focus on growth, creativity, and true wealth-building projects. Imagine this. You own an apartment in a high-cost city. Instead of living there, you rent it out and move to a lower-cost country. Suddenly, your passive income covers your expenses, freeing your time. Now you can focus on bigger projects, investments, or businesses that actually create wealth. The difference is subtle but critical. Financial freedom allows you to think long-term, plan strategically, and make smarter choices without fear or urgency. Wealth without freedom is just stress. Freedom without wealth is just survival. Achieve freedom first. Lesson number 3. Saving matters more than investing at first. When starting out, many beginners obsess over picking the right stocks or timing the market. I was guilty of this. I spent hundreds of hours deciding whether to invest 70% in stocks and 30% in bonds, or whether real estate was the better option. Meanwhile, I ignored my spending. I would go out with friends, blow $100 in one night, and think I was financially disciplined. Meanwhile, a simple habit like saving that $100 consistently would have compounded far more than any stock or bond decision I agonized over. Here's the key takeaway. If you're starting small, focus on saving and controlling expenses before obsessing over investments. With only $1,000, even a 10% return would generate just $100 in a year. But by simply adjusting daily habits, skipping a few unnecessary expenses, you can save far more than any short-term investment would earn. Remember, small savings plus discipline compound into huge results over time. Lesson number 4. Start investing no matter how little you earn. A common excuse is, I'll invest when I earn more. This is like saying, I'll exercise after I lose weight. It's a trap. You likely already earn more today than 5 years ago, yet most people haven't increased their savings or investments proportionally. The reason is simple. The more we earn, the more we spend. Here's the principle. You don't need much to start. Even $3 a day is enough. Look at your daily habits. Are you wasting $3 on coffee, snacks, or small luxuries? Redirect that money into an investment, and over time, it compounds exponentially. This habit also builds discipline and awareness, two traits far more valuable than any short-term windfall.
Lesson number 5. Time is your most valuable investment. Most people focus solely on money when thinking about investing. They calculate the returns on their capital, obsess over stock prices, or monitor crypto markets. But here's the truth. The most overlooked resource is time. Ask yourself, what is the real value of 1 hour of your life? Successful people don't measure wealth only in dollars. They measure it in hours. The choices you make with your time determine the trajectory of your finances far more than your initial investments. Consider this. You spend an hour hunting for the cheapest groceries to save 50 cents, or you stand in line for free ice cream worth $2. While the savings are small, the lost opportunity of your time may far outweigh the money gained. Investing isn't just about money, it's about the return on your time. For example, investing in Bitcoin isn't just placing a buy order. It's hours of research, monitoring market trends, watching videos, worrying over price fluctuations, all of which consume your most precious resource, your attention. Always ask, is the time I'm spending proportional to the return I'm getting? Mastering this mindset early will give you a huge advantage in both life and investing. Lesson number 6, automate your financial decisions. We like to think that willpower is enough. If we try harder, we'll save more, pay off debt, and invest consistently. But reality tells a different story. Willpower alone is unreliable. Human behavior is predictable. When faced with too many decisions, we freeze or procrastinate. Barry Schwartz in The Paradox of Choice explains this beautifully. The more options we have, the less likely we are to act. The solution? Automation. Set up your savings, investments, and bill payments to happen automatically. Decide once and then let your future self reap the benefits without daily friction. Automating your finances removes excuses, avoids decision fatigue, and ensures consistent progress. Imagine this. Every month, money flows into investments like clockwork without you thinking about it. Your future self will thank you, while many others waste years debating the perfect investment strategy. Lesson number 7. Start early. The power of compounding. The biggest mistake beginners make is waiting to invest. They think they can start later and catch up, but waiting is riskier than any market crash. Let me illustrate. Imagine you start investing $100 per month at age 25. You continue for 10 years and then stop, letting it grow until you turn 65. Your friend, however, waits until 35 to start and invests the same $100 per month until 65, a total of 30 years of contributions. Who ends up with more money at age 65? Surprisingly, it's you. Even though your friend invested longer, starting early allowed compounding to work its magic. Every year you delay makes the math harder and reduces your future wealth. Time and compounding interest are your most powerful allies. The earlier you start, the smaller the contribution needed to achieve enormous results. Lesson number 8. Being wrong often is okay. Most people believe that successful investors are always right. They're not. The reality is striking. Even the wealthiest investors are wrong most of the time. Take seasoned entrepreneurs and investors. They expect that about 80% of their decisions will fail. Warren Buffett, for example, has owned shares in over 400 companies, but his biggest gains came from just 10. Mistakes are part of the journey. Accept that not every investment will succeed. The key is to adopt a long-term strategy, learn from failures, and focus on the few decisions that create outsized impact. Even art collectors, startup founders, and venture capitalists understand this principle. Risk is unavoidable, but long-term thinking and selective investments create extraordinary results.
Lesson number 9. Small fees can destroy your wealth. One of the most underestimated dangers in investing is hidden or small fees. A 1% difference might sound tiny, but over decades it can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let me give you an example. Imagine your grandmother gives you and your brother $100,000 each. Both of you invest for the long term. Your brother finds a fund charging 1% with an 11% return. You pick a fund charging 2% with the same 11% return. Fast forward 30 years, your brother's total earnings are about $1,744,000. Yours? Around $1,326,000. That's $418,000 lost because of a 1% fee, nearly 24% of your potential earnings. Lesson: never underestimate the impact of fees. They quietly eat your wealth over time. Always compare costs and focus on low-fee, high-value investments. Lesson number 10. Control your greed.
In a world obsessed with shortcuts to wealth, greed is the enemy of rational investing. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Unrealistic promises prey on our desire for instant success. Greed clouds judgment, making people ignore facts and take unnecessary risks. Successful investors are disciplined. They prioritize slow, steady growth over risky speculative opportunities. They know that protecting capital is as important as making gains. Remember, big dreams are powerful, but greed can destroy them. Study the strategies of proven investors. You'll notice a pattern. They avoid hype and focus on long-term, consistent growth. Lesson 11. Paying off debt is an investment. Most people think investing is only about buying stocks, bonds, or real estate. But here's the twist. Paying off a high-interest debt is equivalent to earning a 15% guaranteed return. Few investments offer that kind of risk-free gain. Many of us have different mental boxes for money, one for investments, one for debt, another for vacations. This leads to irrational decisions. For example, people cheer when their Bitcoin gains $100 while paying $150 in monthly loan interest. The smart approach is to remove these mental boxes. Look at your finances holistically. Paying off debt first ensures a solid foundation for real wealth creation.
Lesson 12. The Elon Musk Effect. Beware of averages. Numbers can be misleading, especially when you rely on averages. Imagine you and two friends are in a car. You earn $10,000 per month, one friend earns $5,000, and the other earns $15,000. The average salary in the car is $10,000. Now, one friend steps out and Elon Musk steps in. Does the average tell you the full story? Not really. This illustrates an important investment lesson. Averages can distort reality. Financial reports, stock performance summaries, and even expert predictions often highlight averages, but they may not represent your real situation. Always dig deeper, analyze the numbers, and understand the underlying details. Don't blindly trust averages. They can hide the true risk or opportunity. Lesson 13. Invest in index funds, the safest long-term strategy. Almost every reputable financial expert will tell you the same thing. Index funds are the best option for long-term investors. Why? Because trying to pick individual stocks or time the market is extremely difficult, even for professionals. Index funds are low cost, well-diversified, transparent, and simple to use. Investing in a broad index fund like Vanguard or FTSE All-World is essentially investing in humanity's future. You are betting that in 10 to 20 years, the world will be more prosperous than today. Think about it. The 20th century brought world wars, market crashes, and global crises. Yet humanity persisted and progressed. By investing in an index fund, you are putting your money in a broad basket of companies that collectively benefit from human progress over time. This strategy is simple, reliable, and effective, and it allows you to participate in long-term growth without unnecessary risk. Lesson 14. Don't take advice from people who don't follow it. The final lesson is simple but critical. Only take financial advice from those who actually follow it themselves. Here's a test. If an expert recommends a stock, a fund, or a property, ask if they personally invest in it. If not, chances are they're trying to sell you something that benefits you, not you. The best investment opportunities rarely appear in brochures or advertisements. They are discovered internally within companies or trusted networks. Real estate agents often buy the best properties themselves instead of advertising them widely. The principle here is clear. Be skeptical of advice from self-interested sources. Check their actions, not just their words. Protect yourself from conflicts of interest and prioritize advisors who align their own money with their advice. These 14 principles, applied consistently, form a strong foundation for financial success. Remember, investing is not about luck, it's about discipline, strategy, and mindset. Small, consistent actions today lead to extraordinary results tomorrow. Start with yourself. Take control of your time and money, automate what you can, and make informed decisions. Over time, these practices compound into real financial freedom and lasting wealth. These 14 principles, applied consistently, form a strong foundation for financial success. Remember, investing is not about luck, it's about discipline, strategy, and mindset. Small, consistent actions today lead to extraordinary results tomorrow. Start with yourself. Take control of your time and money, automate what you can, and make informed decisions. Over time, these practices compound into real financial freedom and lasting wealth.